Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Let's start with our new lecture, that is lecture number 10, Web Technologies and Programming. In today's lecture, we will discuss HTML forms. What are HTML forms or how we'll create it. Before proceeding to the today's lecture, let's move to the content that we have studied in the previous lecture. In the previous lecture, we have discussed what is a table. A table is a combination of row and column. Then we have studied what are the attributes of a table and how to create a table. Using the table tag, we can create a table. And then we have discussed about how to create table row using table tr tag, then to create table header using the th tag, and then to create table data using the td tag. And then we have studied different attributes. We have studied table level attributes, in which we have seen about background color of a table, how to use an image as a background for the table, how to give caption to a table, how to give a table ID to a table. And then we have studied for an attribute aligned, by which we can align a table either left, right or center of a web page. Then we have studied a row level attribute of a table, in which we have seen how to increase the height of a row, how to use background color for a row, how to use an image for the row, and then we have seen cell padding, that is the space between content in a cell and its boundary. And then we have seen cell spacing, that is the space between two cells. We have also seen the border attribute, in which the width of the border is given, through which the table border is given. And then we have seen cell level attributes, in which a cell content is aligned either left, right or center. Then we have seen row span and column span, in which we have seen merging the two rows or more rows is row span, and merging the two or more column is the column span. And then we have seen how to change the background color of a cell. And then we have seen how to place an image as a background for a cell. And then we have seen how to lay out a web page using the table and its properties. So this is an overview that we have discussed in a previous lecture for tables. Today's lecture. In today's lecture, we will discuss about HTML form. What is HTML form? How HTML forms are created? What are the fields of HTML forms? That are HTML elements, and we will discuss different types of HTML elements for forms. Basically, HTML forms are used to collect user input. If we want to take some values from a user on a web page, we will use HTML forms. HTML forms contain form elements. So an HTML form is a combination of form elements. Form elements are of different types, and for example different types of input elements, different types of check boxes, radio boxes, submit button, reset button, and many more. These all are types of form elements, and form elements collectively create a form. So how to define a form in HTML? Using the form tag, we can define an HTML form. A starting tag from the form, and then some form elements that are required according to the web page, and in the end, ending tag for the form is given. Form provides a mean of submitting user information from the client to the server. So अगर आप एक यूजर से इनपुट लेना चाहते हैं, डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ इनपुट, फॉर एग्जांपल आप एक साइन अप फॉर्म की बात करें, आप चाह रहे हैं कि आप यूज़र की एक इंफॉर्मेशन लें. फॉर एग्जांपल आप यूज़र का उसका नाम, उसका ईमेल एड्रेस, उसकी पासवर्ड, उसका कंफर्म पासवर्ड फील्ड, उसकी CNIC की इंफॉर्मेशन, उसकी जेंडर कैटेगरी, उसका कॉन्टैक्ट नंबर. सो ये इंफॉर्मेशन अगर आप लेके इसको वैलिड करने के बाद आप सर्वर को सेंड करना चाह रहे हैं, सो फॉर दैट यू नीड टू क्रिएट HTML फॉर्म. सो यूजर से इनपुट लेके सर्वर साइड पे इनपुट को प्लेस करने के लिए आप फॉर्म्स क्रिएट करते हैं. HTML supports different tags for creating forms. However, these tags doesn't process the information. ये जो टैग्स हैं ये सिर्फ इंफॉर्मेशन लेने की एक अप्रोच है, इंफॉर्मेशन प्रोसेस नहीं करेंगे. ये सर्वर साइड स्क्रिप्ट जो होता है वो इंफॉर्मेशन को प्रोसेस करता है. सो HTML फॉर्म सिर्फ यूजर से इंफॉर्मेशन लेंगे और कुछ मेथड हम देखेंगे, उसके जरिए हम सर्वर पे वो जो यूजर ने इनपुट दी उसको ट्रेवल करवा देंगे, और सर्वर साइड के ऊपर जो स्क्रिप्टिंग टेक्नोलॉजी हमारे पास अप्लाई हुई होगी वो स्क्रिप्टिंग टेक्नोलॉजी जो है उस फॉर्म को जो इंफॉर्मेशन आई उसको प्रोसेस करेगी. सर्वर साइड स्क्रिप्ट जो होते हैं वो वेब सर्वर पे एग्जीक्यूट किए जाते हैं, और जो इंफॉर्मेशन हमें फॉर्म से रिसीव होती है उसके ऊपर वो प्रोसेस करते हैं अपने रिक्वायर्ड नंबर ऑफ टास्क अकॉर्डिंगली. HTML फॉर्म के लिए ये एक डायग्राम है जो बहुत क्लियर वे में एक्सप्लेन कर रही है कि व्हाट इज HTML फॉर्म और हाउ इट इंटरैक्ट्स with scripts. If you do see, this is a registration form for a company Jackson Electronics, in which there are different form elements are given. For example, first name, last name, address, city, and then country, and then zip code, state code, a drop down menu for the products, then a selection for the category used for, and then a comment box with scrolling. These are all the HTML elements, and these all are provided on a web form, and then a send registration or cancel option is given. If the form is filled properly and send registration is pressed, then the data will be traveled to the server, and a CGI script is running on the web server, receive the form data and acts upon it, and after the feedback it will be given to the client through web browsers. So using the form we can take the input from the user and we can send it to the web server, and the script on the web server will process this according to the performed task that is defined, and then it gives the feedback of that processing to the client using the web browser about that particular submitted form. So the form tag without slash is the starting tag for the form, and then an ending tag for the form is used to end a form. Between the form there are form elements which are placed. What are the form elements? The form elements can be an text box, a radio box, a check box, and so many others, submit button and reset button, etc. So we can declare the form as with form attributes. So we write form space attribute, and form elements and layout tags are placed in between the form attribute and ending tag of the form. So a single page can also include different forms, but you cannot nest one form inside another form, and one web form can consist of many form elements as well. So moving towards next, what are the common form attributes? These are the common form attributes. Number 1 is action, 2 is method, and 3 is name. An action gives the URL of the application, that is to receive and process the form data. This is the action form. It gives the URL of the application, and that is to be received and processed for form data. The second one is method. The method sets the HTTP method that the browser uses to send the form data to the server for processing. So HTTP method uses the form data and send it to the server for processing. The HTTP is a method. So what are the major methods used by HTTP are get and post. We will see in the next slide what is get method and what is post method. And then the name attribute, the most common attribute of the form, that you have to mention what will be the name of your form. Now for HTML forms, as we have seen different methods, now we will discuss these two methods, get method and post method. When to use get method? Get method is the default method. You can use the get method if the form submission is passive, like using search engine query, you want to submit the form, or without using any sensitive information, you want to send the information. So the form data will be visible in the page address in the URL. This is said to be query string. So using the query string, the information will be visible and it will be used for form submission, and that information will be sent to the web server with the help of HTTP protocol. Now when to use post method? If you are updating a form, or if it includes a sensitive information, you should use post method. Post is a better method as compared to get. Post provides good security because the submitted data is not visible in the page address in the URL, and that is query string. So if you want to update some data from the server, and if you want to travel some passwords, then you should use, or bank credit confirmation, then you should use post method. So what is get? Get basically request data from a specified resource. Get request the data from the specified source. यूजर से डेटा लेगा. रिक्वेस्ट कैन बी कैश्ड. टेम्परेली प्रॉक्सी के अंदर आप उसको कैश कर सकते हैं. एंड रिक्वेस्ट रिमेन इन द ब्राउजर हिस्ट्री अंटिल आप ब्राउजर हिस्ट्री को क्लियर नहीं करते. सो आपने जो रिक्वेस्ट की वो ब्राउजर के अंदर मेंटेन होगी एज अ हिस्ट्री, सो डैट नेक्स्ट टाइम आपकी रिक्वेस्ट के अगेंस्ट इजीली स्ट्रिंग्स को मैच किया जाए. एंड द रिक्वेस्ट कैन ऑल्सो बी bookmarked, and that get request should never be used when you are using with sensitive data like your passwords, like accounts information of banks and so many else. Get method have some length restriction. Beyond that defined length you cannot exceed for the get method. Get request should be used to retrieve data only. Get request should not be used when you want to update, when you want to send some sensitive data. Post. Post data should be processed for a specific resource. And post data are never cached. Why? Because they contain sensitive information, they contain the private information, and post also doesn't maintain its request information in web browser history. Post requests can also be never bookmarked, and post requests have no restrictions on data length as well. So there is a clear difference between get method and post method. So get method is not scarce and can be bookmarked, can be cached, and have defined length and maintained in the history, while post method can never be cached, never be bookmarked, and never be maintained in the browser history, and do not have any length restriction and used for processing of sensitive information. Form elements. What are the HTML form elements? These are the major HTML form elements. One is text box. This is usually used for taking the input from the user. Then the second one is password field. This is again used normally for taking the password in encrypted form from the user. Hidden field. If you want to hide a field, you can use hidden field form element. Checkbox. This is normally used when you want to take multiple defined options from a user. Radio button. This is used when you want the user should select some specific option between the two options. Then text area, when you want to provide a space that user can enter a specific number of characters in it. Then list, when you want to provide some options to the user and you want the user can select from that list. Submit button, when you want that the information that you have put in different form elements should be sent to the server. Reset button, when you want that the information that you have put in the different form elements should be clear to the default values or should be clear, then use reset button. So let's discuss all the form elements one by one. Input type equals to text, name, size, value and max length. So these are the attributes for the text field. Name, what is the name that you want to give to the text attribute? For example, you want to give the name as email. Then the second is size, how much value you want to contain is text box. So आपकी वैल्यू कितनी होगी उस टेक्स्ट के अंदर, उसका आप साइज को मेंशन करेंगे. मैक्सिमम साइज इतना हो सकता है, मिनिमम उस साइज से कम ही होगा. अगर आपने 15 साइज मेंशन किया है तो इट कैन बी 8, इट कैन बी 10, बट नॉट मोर देन 15. देन वैल्यू. In value you mention the what type of value you want to take in the text and then maximum length for that particular type. So for example, input type you have mentioned text, in the name you have mentioned name, and size is 30 and value is Ali and maximum length that is allowed is 15. Input type is submit, and for the submit it defines a button for submitting a form to a form handler. And what is a form handler? It is typically a server page with a script that process all the inputs received from the client form. So form handler जो है वो जो आपकी रिक्वेस्ट सर्वर पे आती हैं वो सर्वर स्क्रिप्ट को यूज करते हुए उनके साथ उनको प्रोसेस करता है अकॉर्डिंगली. नाउ लेट्स कंसिडर एन एग्जांपल फॉर HTML text box. If you do consider an HTML starting tag, then head tag is mentioned, head tag is ended. After the title tag, a body tag is started where body color is mentioned and heading 1 is mentioned, and then a heading 1 is ended, and then a line is given. HR is for line tag. After that a form is created. If you do see start of the form, FO RM form, it is the start of the form. Now please enter your name, text is written, and then input type is given text. The value that is to be entered will be in the form of text. Size will be of 30 and value will be use अपर केस लेटर. अपर केस लेटर के अंदर वैल्यू आएगी, ये डिस्प्ले होगा उसके अंदर. एंड द फॉर्म इज क्लोज्ड एंड देन सेंटर्ड. व्हाट इज सेंटर्ड? यूजर रजिस्ट्रेशन फॉर्म that is centered, and then body tag is closed and then HTML tag is closed. So what will be the output of this text box code? This will be the output. So please enter your name. This is the label that you have mentioned. So use uppercase letter. This is the value that is displayed. And what is this? This is the text box whose size is mentioned. The size is 30. इसकी text box की size क्या है, और max length इसके अंदर जो value आएगी उसकी length क्या होगी. Moving towards ahead, the second field. The second field is of password field. So input type is password and it has 4 attributes: name, size, value and maximum length. So input type is password, name, whatever the name you want to given. The size is basically the size of the box that you want to give. And value, for example, the value of this Ali you want to display default, and maximum length that you want to take from the user. Note very importantly that whenever you mention the input type password, the values that are given by the user on that particular field will be encrypted, will be in the form of asterisk, and that is said as masked values. So these masked values are shown in form of asterisks or circles accordingly. So let's see the code for the password field. So heading start, the background color is given, and then it's centered, that is a heading 1, that is user registration form. Then a complete new line is created with HR tag, and then form starting tag is mentioned, that is form. Now the text is mentioned, that is please enter your form. This is the form text that will be appear, and the type is text, and then the size is 30 and the value is use uppercase letter. This is the previous information. Now what is new in the current code? You have written please enter your password. The input type is password, and then you have mentioned the size of the box, that is 30, and then the value is minimum of length 6. So here the type is password. So when the user will enter the value, they will be masked, means they will be shown in terms of static and in terms of circles, filled circles. The form is closed and then form is centered and the body tag is closed and HTML tag is closed. Now see what will be the output of this particular line of codes. So user registration form, the heading is given, then the first input, that is please enter your name, use uppercase letter. Now the second field, that is we have currently discussed, please enter your password and at least minimum 6 characters. These are more than 6 characters, and when the characters are typed, they are shown in form of filled circle. They are masked basically. Now moving towards the next form element. This form element is hidden text field. Input type is hidden. It has two values and name. It has two concepts, name and value. Input type is hidden and name is given and value is Ali. So whenever you assign any form element input type hidden, so it will be hidden. Let's see. After the password, you have created an hidden type form element, value is Ali and name is name. So the type is hidden. So when you give the hidden type, what is happen? That hidden field is not visible. If you go on the back slide and see, the code is written input type hidden, but because the type is hidden, so it will not be displayed on the user screen. So if you want to use, or if you want to hide, if you want to use some form element on your code but you don't want the user can see it, or if you want to hide some particular field from a specific user perspective, you can use hide type for that particular input type. So here that particular type of the user, that is Ali, that is not displayed, it is hidden. The next input type for the form element is checkbox. So input type is checkbox. So it has three options. The values are checked, means can be checked, the name of the field and the value of the field. So input type is checkbox, name is checked and value is checked. So this will be checkbox, will be the type of the field and the title of the field will be name, and the value that will be shown inside the is checked. So checkboxes allows a user to select no option or to select more options from the limited number of choices. A user can select all the options if allowed by the code. Let's see the code for the checkbox. After the hidden field, we have added the new code. Which language do you know about? And the line break. So we want to ask different sort of programming language options from the user. So we have entered C++, input type is equal to checkbox, value is C and name is C. So it is checked by default. Next, VB input type checkbox, value B or name is VB, and then Java input type is checkbox, value is Java and name is Java, and form is closed. So these are the options that are provided, and checked means the value will be checked, and this will be the type, and this will be the value, and this will be the label for the checkboxes options. So now see what will be the output of this code in this way. Which language do you know? This is the label. These are the option provided, and if you do consider, this checkbox is already checked by default, and these are different options. C++, VB and Java is provided, and by default the checked is C++ if selected, because the checked option is written for it. So this is the way for checkboxes. We can also select VB and Java in it. So for selecting multiple options, we will provide checkboxes to the user. Now input type is radio button. So when we are discussing radio button, so it has 3 points attributes. Its type is radio, and again its checked status, by default checked status. If created checked, then by default that will be selected. Then name option, name of the field, and value that you want to display. So input type equals to radio, name radio, value is checked, and what will be, it will display as mail. Mail will be the label, and then input type radio, name is radio, and value is not, and then female is the label, but it is not checked. So when we are going to use radio button allow a user to select only from the limited number of choices. Usually when to want to select between two choices, yes, for example you want to select between gender male or female, then you will provide radio button. Now let's see the code of radio button. After the checkboxes, we have added new code in our text file. Your gender, this will appear as label, then a line break code BR tag, then male, that will appear as an option 1, where input type will be radio, name will be gender, value will be M, and this will be checked by default. Now the second input type, it will be written option is as female, and input type is radio, and name is gender, and value is female, but there is no option of default checked is given, because one value can be checked, so that is male is defaultly checked. So these are the options. This is the label, this is the type of the option, and this is the same name that is given to particular box. So what will be the output? See, male label and radio box, and this radio button is checked because we have already mentioned checked option, and then female label, and again radio button, and it is not checked. So if a user wants to enter the registration and he wants to shift from male to female, so he can click on it. Now the option will be shifted from males toward female. So it means one option can be selected for the radio button, while in checkboxes multiple options can be selected, as we have discussed. So moving towards onward, drop down list. In drop down list we have to select name and size and option that are provided in the list. So list is the another form element that is provided to the user to give his input from the selected option, and the selected option are already available to the user. For example, select name equals to name, size and mention, and in this format the options are provided. So the first value option is Lahore, and it will be represented as Lahore and the ending tag for the option. Then the second value is Karachi, and it will represent at Karach and the option value is ended. And then the third value is Islamabad, it will appear as Islamabad, and then the option tag is closed. So if you do consider over here, it will appear in this way: your domicile, and then select name of domicile. This is an example of list. So select name, this is the first attribute for the select list. Then option value is provided. Option value is P select and appear as Punjab option. Then option value K is provided, KPK for second value, and then option value S provided for Sindh as third option, and then option value B for Balochistan, fourth value is given, and then list end. So the select name, this is the start of the list, and these are the options and / and this is the select end for the list that is provided. Now let's see what is the output of this select list. So if you do see over here, then your domicile appeared as a label that you have given in the name of the field, and then all the list in the same sequence as written is presented as. So Punjab, KPK, Sindh and Balochistan. So these appeared in the list accordingly, and whatever user wants to select, user can select one specific option from the given list. Either user can select Punjab, KPK, Sindh or Balochistan. By providing the selected option, you can also create one default selected option in the list as well. So moving towards onward, how to create scrolling in the list. For creating scrolling inside the list, if we have more number of choices for a list that are not appeared easily on a screen, we provide scrolling. We use the size attribute for the list. The value of the size attribute depends on number of options you want to make available at one time to the user. एक लिस्ट में अगर आप चाहते हैं कि एक यूज़र को 10 वैल्यूज़ लिस्ट में अवेलेबल हों और 10 में से वो कोई एक वैल्यू सेलेक्ट करे, तो आप उस 10 में प्रोवाइड नहीं कर पा रहे क्योंकि स्क्रीन के ऊपर फिट नहीं आ रही, 4 वैल्यूज़ एक टाइम के ऊपर नज़र आ रही हैं, तो आप उसको स्क्रॉल प्रोवाइड कर देंगे, और स्क्रॉल का जो आप साइज देंगे वो वैल्यू होगी जो जितनी ऑप्शंस यूज़र को स्क्रॉल टाइम पे नजर आएंगी एक स्क्रॉल में. अगर आप उसकी वैल्यू 4 करेंगे तो एक स्क्रॉल में 4 वैल्यू स्क्रॉल होंगी, नेक्स्ट स्क्रॉल पे अगेन नेक्स्ट 4 वैल्यूज आ जाएंगी. सो लेट्स सी द कोड फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर स्क्रॉल्स. So after giving the reduce option, that is female, and we have learned about the list. In the same code of the list that we have discussed in the previous few slides, we are adding scrolling. So your domicile, that will appear as a label, and then select name equals to domicile, size is equal to 4. So select name, domicile size is 4. This size 4 will provide scrolling of 4. Option value P for Punjab, option value tag ended, then the second value KPK, option value ended, then option value S Sindh option tag ended, and then option value B Balochistan option tag ended, and then in the last one more option value G Gilgit-Baltistan is added with the option tag ended. So this is the size attribute that is used here. Let's see the output of size attribute. Now see that in one scroll the 4 options are available: Punjab, KPK, Sindh and Balochistan. So if we scroll down, the next 4 options starting from Gilgit-Baltistan will appear over here. So in this way you can add scrolling to the list, and scrolling is a form element that is used inside the list. Now text area. The text area is basically an element that defines a multi-line input field as a text area. So if you want to give user an option to enter some text data, you will use the form element that is text area. So text area has rows, columns and names. So text area equals to rows, you mention 5 rows, and column 5, and for default text you have provided its name, and then text area is closed. So you have mentioned starting tag text area, you have given the option of कि text area की area कितना होना चाहिए, 5 rows और 5 column का होना चाहिए, मीन्स स्क्वायर बॉक्स जितनी स्पेस आपको प्रोवाइड की जाएगी, और डिफॉल्ट टेक्स्ट उसके अंदर आप जो है उसको वैल्यू दे रहे हैं, और टेक्स्ट एरिया आपका क्लोज हो रहा है. So if you do consider over here, now the code that will be executed for text area is written as your address text area equals to row equals to 5 rows, and column equals to 30, and then you have mentioned the value you want to display is your permanent address. This will be your permanent address that you want the user to get entered, and you are putting in it, and then text area field is closed. So your address will appear as a label, and this is the size that you are mentioning. So the columns will be 30 and the rows will be 50, this much area, and the text that will appear is your permanent address over there. Now let's see what will be the output of this particular line of code. So see, your address is mentioned as a label here, and your permanent address as a label it should be, and then text area, this is the text area, and it spans on 5 rows, but with respect to column, if you do see, it has much column value to appear because we have mentioned 30 column value in it. So here user can enter the relevant text of his permanent address accordingly. Now what's next? The file field. Input type is file, and then name of the file is mentioned. Here you can allow a user to mention some file with the file path. For example, you want a user to upload his image, a JPEG image, his picture, you want the user to upload his some document, then you are using file field and you will provide that. So what will be the code of file field? Here you can see, after the your address that we have discussed in the last few slides, a line break is given. Now attach your CV. You want the user on a web form that he or she can upload his CV. So input type is file and name is CV. So now it will give the option of user to browse and to give the path of that particular file that you want. Here, using some other attribute, you can also restrict what type of file user can upload. Like you only want the user can upload file of .docx or .pdf. You can also restrict through length attribute that the size of the document. For example, you want the user can upload maximum of 1 MB of document file or PDF file. So now let's see what is the output of this particular line. So if you do see, attach your CV appeared as a label over here, and then choose file option is given when the user, and by default when there is no file selected, here it is written no file chosen. And then when user click on choose file, a window will appear on your computer where it will go to default system, and whatever file you want to select, you can select through here, and then when you select the file, the path will be displayed over here. So then you can use that file to upload on particular server. But using the choose file option, you can only select the file. You cannot submit it. You can submit or upload it using the submit button. Now submit and reset buttons. These are the two most important buttons mostly used in web forms. For clearing the values, we use reset option that user has input in the form elements, and for sending the required data form to the web server, we use submit button. So we mention input type is equal to submit, and value is save, that to save these values that are mentioned in the form. And input type is reset, value is reset, so it will reset, it will clear all the values when you will press reset button, all the values on the form elements that are given on the form. When you give input type equals to submit, it defines a button. What does button do? Submit button will submit all the form input to a form handler. So when you press submit button, it will take all the input and submit it to the form handler. And what is form handler? Form handler is basically a server page, a server side script that is basically for processing the inputs given by the clients and given to the web server, and then give the feedback response to the client again according to the form data submitted. So now let's see the code of both buttons. So after the file option to upload, we have written the new code in our file, that is input type equals to submit, and then we have mentioned the value for the submit, that is a register, and then input type equals to reset, and then value is given, that is fill again. So input type is submit and value is a register. So this is for the submit button, and input type equals to reset and value is equal to fill again. This is for reset button. So we will execute the code, and what will be the output of this code? The output is this one, register and fill again. So if the user press fill again, all the option that user has given in all the field, from for example enter name, password, language is selected, gender selected, domicile drop down list given, and address is given, and file is selected. When user will press the fill button, all the form elements will be cleared and will be to the default values. While for the register submit button, when the user will press submit button, for the register submit button, when the user will press submit button, then all the fields that are filled, their information, their that input fields data is taken and sent to the handler. So send it by the submit button, and that handler is basically a server-side page that will process the request according to the submit button information given to that. So now moving to the summary of today input types. So what are the input types that can be given using HTML form? Color. Using input type, color can be selected. Color can be selected by providing hash codes, by providing a menu of where colors are shown in rectangular box or in a cross dimensions, like you can see mostly in different graphic tools. Then date field is also given in nowadays for taking the input from the user in web forms. When you will select the date input field, the calendar value is given, and you can select from the calendar the respective date, month and year accordingly, and that will be in a specified format. Date time is another form element that is supported in nowadays for input types, and in date time again when you press it, a date calendar will be appeared where you can select a date, a month and a year, and also you can select the specific time of that particular day, AM or PM as well, and you can select in the 24 hours of daytime as well. Normally these are used when you want to send or to schedule tasks, and when you want to send different emails, the date times is attached, or when you want to maintain different sort of versions of documents in your web forms on web applications. Email, when you select email option, the value that is given by the user will be validated properly in the email format, considering proper path, name before all options before @ and after that. Month is another input type that is provided in input types, and if you provide the month option, it will list all the months from Jan till December to the user, and user can select the relevant month. Number is another input type which is provided, and usually it is provided in 0 to onward. So if you want to specify the range, you can also mention the range option. Search will appear, and it takes the information in terms of a specific pattern from the user, and that pattern matches according to the concept of regular expression, and that is sent to the user. Then telephone number, if you want to take telephone number in specific format, you use tel option as an input type from the user, and then the number will be validated according to the format of the telephone numbers of that particular area. Similarly, if you just want to take the time from the user, using the time option, you can use this option. Then URL, if you want to take URL from the user, you can use the URL option, and providing URL option on the web forms, you can take the inputs for the user as a web address or as a URL. Week is another option that is provided to the user as a form element to take the input from the user in terms of week. If you want that a user select a specific week of a month, you can provide the week option where weeks will be listed in terms of week number, and the user can select particular week through the week number, and that will be given to the form value. So HTML5 have also these attributes for HTML attributes for input. Number one is autocomplete. When you use this attribute, the form will give the values that are already given, and that will be already, if you mention it, already list them automatically. For example, if you mention a value boys, so when you write boy, it will list down from that and it will autocomplete with the default value. Similarly, for autofocus, if you want to move particular action, then it will be for the autofocus. The form tag I already told you, and the form action you already know. Form action can be, and then reset in an action form, and then form method you have studied already, get and post method, and then form number validation. Through this you can validate form number, and then form target, what sort of form, which form you want that to be sent or get or post. Then using height and width attribute you can set the size of the form on the web page. Then list, there are different sort of list we have studied. The lists are also provided on the web forms. Then mix, min and max values. Then multiples, you want to take multiples, that is also provided. And then pattern, I have given you the pattern example in as in search option when you give the pattern as a regular expression. Then placeholder, placeholder are default values that are provided in forms. For example, we are saying just like labels in the defined form that we have discussed in our whole slides today. So we use placeholder over there so that appear as dull gray color. That are the default values normally we provide in boxes form elements. And required, if you want to that user should necessarily add this particular value for the required field, you will provide the required attribute. So by providing the required attribute, the user is bound to give that particular value. If a user is not giving that particular value, when the user will submit button, then when the user will press submit button, then that particular field will be highlighted on where backend required is mentioned, means it is a mandatory field for that particular option from the user. So carrying on with these attributes for the input, HTML5 has also the following attributes for the HTML forms: autocomplete and no validate. So what we have discussed in today's lecture? In today's lecture we have discussed how to create web forms. What is a form? We have first of all seen that forms are used to take input from the user, and then we have discussed that these inputs that are taken from the user in the form are taken with the help of form elements. There are different types of form elements. All the form element information is taken from the user and sent to the server, and the information is taken to the user from the user using the method of get and post, where the get method maintains the history. Get method can be bookmarked, and get method also maintains the browser history, and get method appears the visible state in the query string of the URL of the web address, and get method is not suitable for secure information like your passwords and credit card information, while the post method cannot be bookmarked, while the mode method doesn't remain saved in browser history, and post method is suitable when you want to travel your data from secure manner, like you want to travel your passwords and credit card information. And then we have studied different categories of form elements. We have studied a text box, its different attributes, its name, its size, its length, the maximum length that it can take. And then we have studied password, and password we have seen that the values that will be appear will be encrypted, masked, will be shown as asterisk or filled circle, and the password size and password length can also be controlled with the attributes. And then we have seen the checkboxes and checkboxes are used for taking the multiple values from the user, and by default you can also make one option defaultly checked. And then we have studied for the radio button, where we can select one option between the two options, and by default you can also provide an option to be selected. So radio button is suitable when you want to select the option between two choices. And then we have studied for list, and we have seen that you can provide list when you want the user to select from defined number of options. In the list we have also seen how to provide scrolling for the list by providing the size attribute, and we can control the list and provide the scrolling in the list. Then we have seen in the end the two major button, that are submit button and a reset button, and with the help of reset button all the values that are given by the user in the form elements will be cleared. And for the submit button, when the user will press the submit button, all the values will be given to the server side script. Then server side script will process it, validate it according to the required task, and give the response feedback to the user. And in the end we have overviewed some of other inputs, including date, time, date and time, month, week, and so many others. And then we have also seen in the end the summary of all the lecture. This is all about for today's lecture. Thank you for today's lecture.